Hello everyone, I'm Claire Marie B and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be taking you through my March 2022 bullet journal setup. I want to apologise in advance if you hear any background noise today. We're currently in the midst of a storm and I can't hold off recording my voiceover for any longer, so you may hear wind and rain and other bits and pieces, so apologies for that. My theme for March is spring, fall leaf clover. I've gone for a pattern of using these love hearts in a way to look like the four-leaf clover, and I decided to create a tile print for that and do that with 3 colours. I toyed with 2 colours, just green and the fawn colour, and I thought no, I really wanted to use this darker green as well, and I'm pleased with how it's come out at the end. I think the extra colour of the green just adds a little additional dimension to it. It's really therapeutic to do just the colouring and the repetition, and it was a great mind distraction. So if you're looking for an activity of mindfulness or just to kind of get out of overthinking anything that you might have on your mind, something like this and doing a repetitive colouring pattern I find is really great for that, because you really focus on not going wrong. As you know, if I went wrong I'd leave it in my journal, but I was putting a bit of pressure on myself this month because I really didn't want to go wrong on that pattern at all. Which luckily I didn't on that page, so yay. Okay, so I'm popping a border around the page as well. I just felt that because the pattern didn't run all the way to the edge of the page, it made a little more sense to put a border on there. And I'm doing the same on the left hand side, which will be my quote page. I find my quote page sometimes a little bit challenging. I was quite happy with it this month, but it's probably the one page where I want to stretch myself a little bit more. I'm not always going to do a quote page. I've kind of got into my own head, I think, a little bit like I have to have this, and it became then too much of a pressure. So if something comes to me, I'm going to do one. If it doesn't, I'm kind of open to the idea now that I'm not going to bother, and that's all good. I've repeated the 4-leaf clover on the left hand side, and then for my headers I'm using torn craft paper. I've gone with Hello Spring, and for the March header I decided to use the faux calligraphy style but not filled in. I really liked the open space on that. I did that in January and just really liked that style, so I think I'm kind of getting my handwriting style now. It's taken me a long time with my lettering to get to a point where I feel like it kind of looks half decent now. So if anybody else is trying to do the lettering and feeling really frustrated with it, oh my goodness, the best advice I can give is it just takes time and practice, and the more energy you put into the practice, the better you'll end up getting. But just be patient with yourself, because as you can see, mine's not fantastic and I've been doing a lot of practice for quite some time, but I'm getting better. I'm improved. I consider myself a great improver. This is my calendar spread. I decided to keep things quite simple. The Dutch door is back. I love a Dutch door on my calendar, as you know, so I'm going to continue that. I'm not going to draw out all of the 4-leaf clovers and make you watch me colour in every single one. Obviously, that's why I sped through on the cover page. And as you can see, that's the same for my Dutch door side as well. I'm going to speed through when I do some of the 4-leaf clovers. So the video is probably a little bit quicker than usual. I'm using some torn craft paper again, and then I've done some highlights in just using the little triangles to go across the top of the page. Of course, I'm going to be using washi tape, and I decided to make a bit more of a feature of my washi tape this month. On my weekly spreads, if you're on Instagram, come over there and check that out. I post every spread that I do on Instagram basically, and I'll post my weekly spreads throughout March as well. But I decided to do washi tape waterfall effect, which I was really excited about. Onto the flip side of the Dutch door, this is where I'm doing my planner for the month. So I have my Instagram planner on the left hand side where I list every day of the month, and then if I'm going to be posting anything, I'll put it on there. I call it an Insta planner. If I'm posting videos as well on YouTube, I stick that on there as well. It's basically my social media to-do list. I need to get a little bit better. I'm trying to get better at stories on Instagram. I like to give myself a little challenge each month of doing something new or different. So Instagram stories is something I'm trying to get better at. In December, I had an advent calendar, which was great to be able to post that every single day. But I need to just keep remembering each day, hey, do something for the stories, because I love connecting with everybody and I love seeing everybody else's stories. So it's just so silly that I don't do them myself. So I'm going to be trying to do more. On the right hand page is my monthly to-do list. I then track my growth over YouTube and Instagram, thanks to all of those who subscribe, because that really helps me keep doing what I'm doing. If you haven't subscribed, please hit subscribe. And if you turn on your notifications, you'll be told of when I release new content as well. And then at the bottom, this is a notes section. This is just where I capture some thoughts or things that I might want to learn for the next month or improve on, or change or feature. So it gives me a really good place to come back to and find everything in one central place across my bullet journals as I go throughout the year as well. On to my next spread, which is my trackers. On the left hand side, this is my mood tracker, and I'm using a stencil I was gifted at Christmas for the first time. I couldn't think, often I'll do a shape and colour that in for the mood, but I didn't want to do all the repetition of the 4-leaf clovers again. I thought that was going to be too much really. So I decided to do the wheel shape, colour one block in for each day of the month based on my mood. As I've told you before, I'm generally quite a happy person, so it pretty much always says happy. But I just like the activity, because I could probably get rid of this because every month says the same sort of thing. But I just like doing it. I like having it in there. I'm keeping the same setup on my trackers. I've really enjoyed having my boxes for my daily things and also having trackers for weekly things and monthly things. I was only tracking daily things before, which is just really silly. I don't know why I didn't think of it earlier. So I'm going to be keeping doing the same as I've been doing for the last couple of months. So I have my trusty 6 boxes, which I haven't really changed up, but I think I'm going to do. I've been saying for the last year I'm going to start doing yoga, and I really feel I need to do it. So I'm thinking if I set myself a challenge or a focus in here or a tracker for it, that might help me achieve that. And here we are onto my final spread. This is my memories page. So if you go right back in my bullet journal creation, I started with a Ponzi, which was my way of having a brain dump, and I really wasn't using it. I switched out to these memories pages, which I love much more than the Ponzi. I always fill them each month. It's a really lovely place to capture what's been happening for me in the month. You'll see I've put 2 boxes with little edges around the corner. That's for me to do 2 pictures. I've got a Polaroid, like a Polaroid effect printer, and it's an Insta Snaps thing or something like that. I'm in the market for a new one or upgrading that, because I think I could probably get something that's a little bit better. So I like to put a couple of pictures in for the month. It's something really nice to look back on. And for when I do my flip throughs, I try not to look at my bullet journal up to the point of doing my flip through. That's what I did last year anyway. So it's nice to come back and look at some of these things. I also do 1 word a day on here. I started that in January 2021 and I've kept it going. Again, I've really liked that because it helps me to focus at the end of the day. When I think I've had a particularly bad day, often, again, that's the positive side of me, I guess, often I'll sit back and go, well, actually, I don't want my word of the day to be so negative. What positive things can I find from the day instead? And that helps me to end the day in a much more positive way. So that's one of the things I like to use word a day for. I do find that if I look back on 1 word a day, I've got no idea what was going on that particular day. So I had started doing a line a day as well, which I quite like, but I'm feeling that's getting a bit repetitious because I often put in my actual weekly spreads what's happened on that particular day. So here's my final flip through. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. Please do subscribe and turn on notifications to be told of when I release new content. Have a fantastic March and catch you in my next video. Bye.